I think in the 10 years that I've been here, certainly when I came in, advertising was still, let's create a piece of film, let's put it on television, let's do a print ad and put it in a newspaper or a magazine. And the internet was around, but it certainly hadn't, had any kind of effect on the industry. But of course now we're living in an age and an era where the internet has completely revolutionized the way that advertising works. And I definitely want to talk to you more about that, but more fascinating for me is the way that the internet and technology have indeed changed business, which of course affects us in the advertising industry because we're advertising business and products. So, I'm fascinated with disruptive technologies such as, Airbnb, the world's largest provider of holiday accommodation, but they don't own a single building. Uber, the world's largest provider now of taxi services, but they don't own a single car. And so technology is completely disrupting the way that business is moving forward, which hugely affects us in the ad industry. Big TV advertising, big radio advertising, press, out of home, those things are no longer the most effective way to reach an audience, and they're certainly not the most cost-effective way, or the what's the word I'm looking for there? But yeah, big TV is definitely not the right way necessarily to reach an audience, and not the most effective.
So do you see that there's sort of a move away from sort of the mass appeal to sort of more bespoke?
Absolutely. I think for us, it's no longer necessarily about creating the big, all bells, all dancing piece of film content that promotes, this is my brand, this is my product, this is why you should buy it and why it's better than the brand next to me. Consumers aren't interested in that. Havas did a fantastic survey last year, and they came out telling us that 96% of people wouldn't care if brands disappeared tomorrow, which is really sad for somebody who works in advertising and marketing. I know, but sadly, no consumer is thinking, gosh, I haven't heard from Kellogg's for a while, I must pop over to their Facebook page and see what those guys are up to. People don't care. And so for me, I think, we got very complacent in advertising, thinking that consumers loved adverts and they wanted to hear about your brand and your product. The truth is they don't. I think the biggest commodity for businesses and for advertising is actually consumer attention. In the world of the internet, everybody's too busy watching cat videos to care that you've updated a flavour or that you've got a new product. They don't care. They're too busy watching cat videos. So we talk a lot about that in our business, about how do you gain consumer attention. But I'm also quite fascinated.
So not just awareness, it's about attention.
It's about their attention, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's hugely important. And we talk a lot about the terrifying realization that ad blocking is a thing. If internet channels and all of these new social channels are the ways to reach people, we have to be mindful that consumers, 30% up year on year in terms of ad block usage. 11% of the entire global population are blocking adverts. We even invented a skip button on YouTube advertising because we recognize that people don't want to watch our content. And brands and businesses have responded in the wrong way. We're all now creating more content. We're creating more films that we're putting on social media. We're creating more adverts. We're doing much more. I think it's 60% up year on year in terms of the volume of content that brands and businesses are creating in order to try and gain that attention. And I think it's the wrong way to go about it because they just don't want to hear from us.